Kuns in Vermaak. He is Marianah Lourens and Art and Entertainment. And I am with an old friend of mine. We've seen each other from time to time, been in shows together. And I think the biggest one was Evita that we did together, but other smaller maybe ones. And you were always so good with getting our costumes together. And she even made us a cake for one something.
I think I made the cake for
a celebration.
No, Evita.
Oh, was it Evita? Yes. She made this amazing cake. But apart from that, she's just our backbone. When you want a costume altered quickly because others didn't get to it, she does it.
Yeah.
When you want something made quickly, she does it. She doesn't only act on stage, she also does props so well, costumes. And then we were together again with Matilda. And now I get to Amy, because Amy is Karin's daughter. So it's Karin Shaw. Now it's Amy Shaw. But of course, Amy, I think we were in Footloose together.
That's it.
Many years ago, when you were a little girl.
Well, I was, teenager. Littler than I am now, for sure.
Littler. But she got to be the tallest of us all. But that was such a very different musical to be in, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was an amazing
Interesting,
one.
Amazing,
and it was for me.
Years ago.
It was the last show I did with
16, 17
Robin
years
Williams.
ago or something.
Yeah, and then I obviously had a break from the theatre and then came back now with Matilda, which was also Robin's comeback after many years to the Savoy and to the GNS.
Yes. And of course, Robin, she's retired from teaching at Theodore, and now she's got her own academy.
Yeah,
so that's very nice. But listen, now you, young lady, Amy Shaw, obviously when we were in Footloose, did you then already think, I want to be a pilot?
I'd already done my flying training. I hadn't started working, so it slotted into the time.
Sorry to interrupt. Did you do cabaret before Footloose?
I did cabaret before Footloose, yes.
You were training during cabaret because the other pilots came to see the show.
To watch it, yes, that's correct. So it was as I was finishing off my training. The pilot training only takes 2 to 3 years, but then you're almost like an intern after that. You've got to build your hours and you work your way up the weight categories of aircraft. So I was right at the beginning of that journey, but hadn't moved out of Port Elizabeth and started the real work, which then came after that.
So from piloting, you were already into music. Yeah. While you were in music, you were already into piloting.
Yes, pretty much.
Okay. Had you just finished high school?
I was finished high school. I think I was actually not a teenager. I was probably 20, going on 21.
Yeah, but you looked very young.
I'm so glad.
I mean, you look like you're 20 now.
Oh, I'm so glad.
But let's go to Simon, because Simon Shaw, of course, he's doing lots of gigs at the moment, and that's how I thought, I must get this family. And then, of course, I heard you leaving for the USA, Amy, and then I thought, now I must get them together, because this is a talented family it is. He was rocking from the roof during COVID. Tell us about that.
Well, that was myself and my sister and Megan Smith at the time. And my mother was involved in the props and the costumes.
Yes.
As mentioned before.
I saw
there was a Disney stream that had fish floating through on a fishing line. That was in the background. That was held by my mother.
But we didn't put things on YouTube then. How did I see it on the...
It was live streamed.
We live streamed all of that stuff on... We did it on Facebook predominantly, and we did also stream it on YouTube. But most people watched on Facebook, to be honest.
Facebook.
We got very few views on YouTube, but we got quite a lot on Facebook.
But we were not so into YouTube again. We was just still feeling our way around with YouTube. But Facebook was like everything. And during COVID, we latched onto whatever we could. And that's when I saw all those shows that you did. Oh, I laughed. It was so funny.
You should have seen them carrying the stuff up onto the roof. I mean, there Simon was going up the ladder with speakers and drum kits. And
I can see the picture in my head.
Yeah, there is a picture somewhere with like subwoofers strapped to my back. Climbing up rickety ladders, and all my friends in construction and health and safety were not impressed.
Well, and then I saw your interview you had with the Herald Live. You were in the Herald Live and you were saying that you were taking a sabbatical from being a pilot because you're also a pilot.
Also a pilot, yes. Yeah, so that was very nice of the Herald. They followed up. That was a follow-up actually on what we did during lockdown, because those rooftop gigs that you mentioned, we obviously did the majority of what we did there. We gave away the donations and stuff to charity. So they did a little article on us back then, and then they wanted to do a follow-up article on what everybody was doing. So that's how that little one came about. Yes, similar situation. Amy's been on sabbatical for a while. And now going back to flying.
Now she's absconding. Now you're and you know,
leaving our shores for an extended period.
I love that the two of you sing together is Jackson.
Oh, that's an amazing one.
I mean, it's my era. It's just, yes, it's our era.
I recently had a birthday, and the two of them particularly sang that song at my birthday. Simon played and Amy sang, and everybody there was just mesmerized.
Of course, because we love it. The oldies. It's our song. It's one of our songs, not our only song.
I think that song's got a wonderful undertone of sibling rivalry as well.
Oh, is it?
Just teasing.
No, does it come out sometime?
Yes, for
sibling
sure.
rivalry.
For sure. I mean, lockdown was awful.
What's the age difference? Who's older?
I'm older by 5 years, almost to the day. My birthday is the 15th of September. Amy is the 8th of September.
Okay.
And we have a 5-year span between us.
September babies. And Andrew, what year?
Andrew's February.
Was he?
He's odd one out.
Didn't I gate crash Simon's birthday party when I was born?
Sort of, because they were both due on the 10th. And then I had Simon's birthday party early because I was concerned about her. So she did actually arrive that night of his 5th birthday.
Well, the thing is that 5 years, it's quite a gap. It's almost like you want to go into a different generation with school.
Maybe.
Because
I don't think it's that far.
Because for 5 years, look, you're in the same primary school, probably. I don't know. Did you go to a different?
No, we were at different schools.
You were at different schools, so that didn't matter so much. But the thing is, then he goes to high school and you stay in primary school.
Yeah. The gap gets smaller as you go on.
As you go, I think once you reach high school,
we're old now. The gap's non-existent.
For a while, you are together. Were you together in high school at all?
No.
Didn't go to the same schools. Did you go to boys' school?
I was in matric when Amy would have been in standard 5 or grade 7.
Yes, they kind of left high school and junior school.
And my brothers were grey boys, and I went to Alex. For the music.
You went to Alex?
Yes, I was playing the saxophone a lot at the time, and I really wanted to join their band.
Yes, and Alex have always had an excellent band. Now still. I mean, it's just amazing. And the schools now have got good bands because
all of them.
Yeah. Pearson has got a band.
We went to see the production at VP once weeks ago.
Yeah.
And Amy still commented to me, is that the band playing? Yeah. I said, it's their band.
Yeah, they were brilliant.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And the show, my granddaughter was in it. It was so nice.
Yeah. Congratulations. Yeah, that was a brilliant production.
It was a brilliant production. And the kids are so good. Now to get back to you, because I saw, Simon, that you were having a gig. Did you have a gig with Bad Pizza?
That was myself and Amy.
Okay.
We did
she's
a lot
not in the picture.
I'm not sure why she's not in the picture. She should have been in the picture.
She should have.
So we did we play music together quite a lot. Whereas I do my guitar and vocals and the little foot drummy things. And Amy's been playing bass guitar and singing as well. And then, we were very lucky with Ian Mitchell at the Music Kitchen. Often opens up a platform for all of us.
Yeah.
And we got to do the opening for Bad Peter. And we got to do the opening for Georgetown. We've actually done Georgetown a few times already. Did an opening for Rowan Ash. She's now in Nashville. So we've been really lucky with that. Those Bad Peter guys are fantastic.
I
They
know.
really are
I
good.
know, they are out of this world, but they're not local.
They're Pretoria boys.
Yeah, they're Pretoria
Yes,
boys.
yeah.
I saw. I'm from Pretoria, so they're probably my guys. Are you my guys? But the whole thing for me is that I've got this amazing family that I only met Simon through the two of you, but we've done stuff together
Yes,
a number of years.
And we've done a show together as well.
And you did it. Which show did the three of you do together?
We did the very first show that Amy did was Oliver, which was a great family production put on by Robin Williams. And Amy was 6 at the time. Simon would have been 11 at the time. And then my other son Andrew was also in it. And then I was involved as well. And that's where my resurgence of musical theatre.
Yes.
Well, I was never involved with musical theatre before that. I was involved in straight theatre.
And weren't we all? Because there weren't that many musicals when we were growing up. And schools didn't have that much either. Not of musical. They had like a play.
Or Pirates of Penzance was one of them. Not Pirates of Penzance, Pride and Prejudice was.
Oh, yes,
my
of
big
course.
one,
It was wasn't it a book, a prescribed book that you had to?
Possibly, I can't recall. I didn't do much reading at school.
Yeah, but the whole thing is we grew up with less musical, more drama.
Yes.
And then we kind of grew into the musical.
I think a lot of the musicals in our youth, if we could say youth, were Gilbert and Sullivan, Pirates of Penzance, those sort of were Gilbert and Sullivan.
Yes. But you had to join the drama society. They didn't do it at school.
No,
and
not much.
At school it was all the little children's stuff. But then we didn't have much of it in an Afrikaans school.
But I grew up in Zambia in junior school with pantomimes.
Oh,
So
that
we
must
were
have been
involved
nice.
And I was a dance. I danced in a studio as a kid.
Yeah.
And they always used the dancers from the studio.
Yes, because they needed the dance.
So we did a lot of pantomimes then. And my mother did the costumes.
You see now, die appel val nie ver van die boom nie. Do you know what I'm saying? The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Yeah, no.
Well, believe it or not, Amy did a lot of the...
Amy in Matilda.
And Matilda did a lot of the props
to
and
me,
things.
She was brilliant. I just said to Mark outside before we came in, I said, Amy is an engineer. She built Bruce's cake that he had to eat. And it can't just be a cake that you make. You have to build it and it's got to go flat because he's got to eat it, but he can't really eat it.
It was an amazing thing.
It was the most amazing little structure or big structure. It was a giant cake. And Amy made it. Oh, and she made some of the...
I made it 3 times before I got it right, in truth.
Well, some people, after the people...
The cake caused problems.
Prototype.
I feel like it caused tears, frustrations.
And that...
The first 2 cakes may or may not have been thrown against walls and destroyed.
Don't be dramatic, Simon. I never did that.
She's not like that.
Simon is the drama queen of the group, by the way.
The one with the big mouth.
Yeah.
But the thing is with Amy, she's here behind the scenes and she's fixing everybody's feathers just like her mom. Did you make puppets?
I made the
puppets?
Yes, I made the puppets. I made the stretchy
Some
ears.
of the puppets,
The seesaw.
Oh, the seesaw, yeah. So a little bit of sets, a little bit of props, and a little bit of costumes.
Suns and the moons.
Yeah. And
there
then
was a lot.
And then she plucked my sole together, of my shoe together that I needed.
Fixed a very important actor's shoe once.
Yes, absolutely.
She definitely took over from me because I can remember being in the dressing room and someone would say, in the shows, and someone would say, who's got this or a safety pin or a pair of tweezers or this or that? And I always seem to have it in my bag for some reason.
Yes, in the dressing room they
Please,
say
she came into the dressing room with a sewing machine and tell me when we did Evita already.
Possibly Evita or
That's why I will look at no one else but you because you can do it quickly, you do it seriously, you know what
I also
be done.
I also realize that, unlike a proper dressmaker, when you're sewing for the stage, you don't have to do fine, delicate little, that nobody, you sew, you just go over and over and over again. So inside, it doesn't have to be like neat and tidy.
No, it doesn't have to be an artwork. It must look from
I must stay together.
Yes, and it's got to be. It looked like my last one was that nurse's uniform, and it was too small, and she just put the panel in. No, and I couldn't get to her. We couldn't get together for the measurements because it was Minda, and so I took a photo of one of my garments and measured it and told her the measures, and she just
but
put a panel
relatively
in.
speaking, that was quite an easy one. If I could just, when they did The King and I here, and we got all the costumes from, I was the coordinator of the costumes, but the costumes actually came from, what's the Pretoria Arts? They had done it, and it came with Anna's costumes, dresses, and the girl who played Anna just before here in PE was 4 months pregnant at the time, so her dresses were made bigger for her. And
Angela
Killian was slim and trim, and I had to reduce
make it
those dresses down. And bear in mind, there's lots of gathering around the waist. From big size to small size without cutting. I measured 7 meters of fabric in each layer.
But and you know how difficult it is to get it right around the shoulders because you've got a small shoulder person and now this dress and the neckline is
but that's
big
when
and the armholes are big. Oh,
that's where not having to sew neatly comes into it.
Just go there. I mean, all those costumes that you've had to done lots of experience, but always willing to do it. And I definitely would say, call Karin Shaw for your costume. But we've got like half a minute left. I want a last word from each of you because you're leaving and you're not going to tell us you playing bass guitar while you're flying.
I mean, I'll have to get involved in music of some sort on that side.
Just no.
So I'll definitely, I have a dream of being in an a cappella group, so maybe I'll find something there.
Just talking about that, you can't sing Jackson Quickly a cappella. Yeah.
Do we remember the words without music in front of
keys
us?
and things.
There is something that you can sing.
Yes.
Anything.
Yes, there is one. Do you want us to sing it?
Quickly.
I feel a sin coming on. I feel a ride that's about to go wrong. I got a shiver down to the bone, and I feel a sin coming on.
I've got a blood in my veins, drunk on a love going down like champagne. I've got a feeling it's gonna leave a lipstick stain, and I'll be the only one to blame.
And you can see it, all over my face,
all over my face.
Sweet temptation, all over the place,
all over the place.
Give me tall, dark, and handsome, mix it up with something strong. I feel a sin coming on.
Beautiful. Now our time is up, so one word, Karin.
I love the theatre and I do want to do more. That's all I can say.
We got you.
Thank you for having us, and we'll chat again soon.
Thank you always for having us. It's
Where
been
exactly
an
are you
pleasure.
going?
Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah. Yes.
Oh, we've got family there.
Oh, brilliant.
Yes. Blessings. And
thank you.
Definitely we'll see each other, Simon, and we see each other
Thank you
all the
so
time.
much.
We are going to say, watch this space because lots more gigs coming and people can watch my profile and see what Simon is doing. So let's keep going. Please keep shining. I'm putting you in the spotlight.
I'm a very proud mama. I have.
Thank you so much, Karin Shaw, Simon Shaw and Amy Shaw, and blessings. Time for Marianah Lourens and Art and Entertainment to say goodbye. Ja, Marianah Lourens, wat nou regtig moet groet met Kuns en Vermaak. So ek sê arrivederci.